Hi, Niraj. It is such a joy to have you for Confab, a special initiative started by My Big Brand Story to share unique stories and compelling brand narratives.
Hi, Monica. Thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure to be on this platform, Confab.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Neeraj, you have had such an amazing journey. You come from a family which is into business. Like you started your career with confectionery, like taking your like parents' business forward, and from the confectionery business, then you started. You felt compelled to, kind of divert from your core family business to photography, and then in photography also then you felt that something compelled you, and then you started taking social cause photography so much, in such a short span of time. How do you see this, and what made you finally take up social cause photography?
See, I think there are a few things which had to happen, and they happen in a very unique way, different way. So I think, like most of the business class families, I was also from business class family, and we are told to join our father's business, our parental business. So it was very similar case for me as well, and I started it, and I was doing it very nicely. So then I started another business. I started my own business, exports business. I was into fashion accessories exports, and somehow I ended up learning photography while I was not doing so much in business. So I ended up learning photography, and after I learned photography, I realized it is something very close to my heart. I was really enjoying it. I was really doing very well in it as a hobby. So then I started photography as a hobby. I had my studio, I had everything. I worked in various kind of niches of photography, maybe fashion photography, portrait photography, product photography. And somehow, then few things happened. I ended up doing social documentary photography. I usually tell this story. I went to an agitation. It was an
Okay.
agitation by acid attack survivors.
Yeah.
So I went there. So I saw them, kind of raising their voice. Acid attack survivors were raising their voice. And I was so touched by their stories, their demands, their requests, which they were sending to government. And no one was listening to them. The government was not ready to listen to them. So then I thought, okay, whatever skill I have, I had the photography skill with me. So I thought I should raise their voice through my skills. So then I spoke to them. I spoke to their, Lakshmi Agarwal was there. There were a few other organizers were there. So I spoke to them. I shared my view that I want to raise your voice through my photography skills. Even I was not clear that what will I do. But one thing I was very clear that I want to raise voice for them. Then
Brilliant.
when they gave when they said, okay, yes, please do. We will be very happy to share our stories. So then I worked on that idea. I really worked. I think I took 2 to 3 months just to think, just to do the brainstorming thing, just to think about all the ideas. Then after 2 3 months, I got in touch with them again, and then I started doing the photography thing. And then I would say I really don't know how did I end up doing it, because I was just flowing like flowing water. No, I was just flowing because wherever things were taking me, things started changing, the situation started changing, and I was able to express their emotions very nicely, I would say,
Okay.
through my photographs, and it got various awards. That series is called Sacred Transformations, and that series got various awards. It got published in many national, international newspapers. So people became more sensitive about social causes. People became more sensitive about acid attack survivors. Then I realized the power of photography. Then I truly
Yes.
realized the power of photography, the power of art. Then I
Mhm.
thought, then, if one photo series can do such amazing transformation, then why not work more on more series? Why not raise voice for more of such underprivileged, unheard emotions.
I know, I can understand. So Neeraj, while we understand that you have had interesting social campaigns, so do you remember any such campaign where you could see the instant transformation, like you could see the result of something that you had thought of, and it kind of actually manifested? So, do you remember of any such event or any such campaign that you kind of took up?
Yeah, I think it's a very nice question. I really wanted to share this as well, because there are various indirect impacts which happens. When I did a series on menstrual hygiene, there were
Yes,
at least 10 to 12 NGOs which got opened after, which started their work on menstrual hygiene after seeing my series.
right.
So these are a few of the direct impacts. And apart from this, one incident which I would like to mention, I did a series on one acid attack survivor girl. She's called Rani. So
Okay.
she was being attacked by a soldier, ex-soldier, I would say.
Ah, okay.
And, the culprit was still not behind the bars.
Acha.
So,
Okay.
which was really shocking for me. She has filed a FIR against that person, and case is also there, but that person was still not behind the bars. And this was really shocking. So I told that girl that I'll do a series on you. She took that FIR copy. I did entire series with that FIR copy and all the documents and all the sad smiley and all this to express her inner being, what she's going through, about her emotions. And after that series got released, it got kind of various newspaper, international, national newspaper covered that story, and then that person got arrested. There was a
Wow.
indirect pressure on
I
police
know.
as well, that that person was arrested, and that person is still behind the bars. So this
Imagine.
is the impact of art. This is the impact of whatever form. That's the reason I am requesting, I'm urging all the artists, whether you are a speaker, whether you are a writer, whether you are a painter, you have got such an amazing tool. Your art can be an amazing tool for social transformation. So please use that tool very nicely, very appropriately. You can also do social transformations.
Absolutely. That's amazing. That's so nice to hear that, one campaign, such campaign was gave justice to somebody who was looking for this justice. When I came across your story, it actually moved me because I had never ever heard about, using photography for bringing forth such stories. While there are write-ups, there are some documentaries that may, but still photography can move your emotions so much. It's commendable, it's amazing. I've seen all the stuff that you have done. It's phenomenal. I'm sure, when you took up this decision, while there was an urge to contribute and bring forth such stories, I'm sure you would have had some challenges initially, because either there are some mental blocks or there are some inertias that you have, societal pressures or XYZ. So I'm sure you would have also come across some kind of initial challenges to take this up as one of those platforms to bring forth such stories. I'm sure you would have had. So could you share something about that as well?
See, first of all, thank you so much for your kind appreciation. And I would say, yeah, definitely, I had some issues. I had my own struggles for reaching wherever I have reached. If you see my work, my expertise is portraiture. So I
Portraiture.
remember rightly, because I did various kind of photography. As I told you in starting,
Yes.
like all other photographers, I did various kind of photographies and various uh, kind of niches I tried. So then
Right.
I realized portrait photography is something which is very close to my heart,
Right.
which I am able
Mhm.
to express the other person as well and myself as a photographer. you
Right.
know.
Right. Right. Right.
So, but when I did my first exhibition, so there was a curator. He was
Okay.
a very nice curator, very famous curator. So he saw my photographs. He said, Neeraj, these photographs are good, these are fine, but you won't be able to survive in the industry with these photographs, because
Mm-hmm.
these photographs are good, but you won't be able to sell these photographs. So what's the
Mm-hmm.
use of doing an exhibition of this? So
Right.
that time I would say कि I was shaken. I
Mm-hmm.
realized, oh my
I'm
God,
right.
oh my God, because some a very senior curator has told me, and he was right. I won't say he was not right. He was right, because these photographs are usually, who would like to have acid attack survivors photographs in their drawing rooms or
Absolutely.
offices or all those things. So I
Right.
was shaken, but
Mm-hmm.
I really thought about it. I thought about it for maybe few weeks, and but then I realized this is something very close to my heart. If I am not doing it, then I may be average in other things, or maybe above average in other things, other forms of photography. But this is something very close to my heart. And if I am doing something which is very close to my heart, then only I can excel. I was very clear.
Right.
So I
Right.
decided no, even if I'm not able to sell my photographs, then also I'll do this. But so I shared my decision with him. Okay, I want to do this kind of photographs only. In any case, it was our wish. End of the day, it was our wish what to do. So he
Mm-hmm.
said, okay, if you are comfortable with the, your photographs don't get sold, then I'm also fine.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when they got exhibited, when it was inauguration day, the very first photograph which was sold in that gallery, it was my photograph.
Wow.
and i
That's
kept
amazing.
and I kept it overpriced. I would directly say, he said, what would be the price? I said, America, what are the average prices? He said 15,000, 20,000. These are the prices, the price ranges. So I said, okay, then I would like to keep it 25,000. He said, why? Because see, in any case, see, it is, in any case, you are saying it's not, you cannot sell it. But I certainly believe in these photographs. I certainly believe if these photographs are 15,000, 20,000, then this photograph should be 25,000. So the very first photograph which was sold was that photograph. So very that day
Amazing.
also, kind of, I became more serious about this photography. Not just about because it was sold, but I did what I could relate to, and people were appreciating it. Those photographs got a lot of appreciation in media. Those photographs got a lot of appreciation by the visitor who visited the exhibition that
Mhm.
time.
Interesting, interesting. You're sharing such a interesting thing that we all have these mental blocks, and only when what we believe in, we strongly hold on to that, the real manifestation happens, right? And this is an example. Even if there were inhibitions, your mental inhibitions, and then you had some kind of back and forth happening in terms of your senior curator kind of saying that, look, nobody is going to pick this up, but then you kind of proved it, that if we strongly believe in our thought process, or we stay firm to what we what we intend to do, then everything is possible. It's amazing, it's so inspirational. uh you
Thank you.
know
Thank you so much. See, what I believe, whenever, suppose if I want to become like Monica, if I want to become like X, if I want to become like Y, if I want to become like Z, then in that journey, I will lose myself.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
I think people should listen to their inner voice. You should get inspired from others, but do not follow what they do. Follow
Mhm.
your heart, what you really believe in. If you
Mhm.
believe that you can do X kind of photography, or maybe you can make X kind of artwork, then do that. Maybe sooner or later you will definitely get success. Maybe initially you won't get success. Maybe you have to create the market for that particular kind of photographs or artwork or painting, but people will definitely appreciate if you really excel in that, if it is your inner voice.
Absolutely, absolutely. So lovely to hear such inspirational words from you. Could you throw some lights on some of those campaigns that you have had? For example, one of the campaigns was around a taboo that we have in our society, that's about menstruation. I remember when we were kids, like when for the first time, I was told about this in the school. Boys were made to kind of leave the class, and then on this discussion happened only between the girls. So that means, and it's not that 30 years back this was a scenario. It still holds true right now also. While a lot has improved and evolved in terms of a lot of communities talking and sharing and taking this forward, I think you have done some of very interesting work in this space, phenomenal campaigns. I think you got featured in various international and national dailies and magazines. So could you throw some light on this and how far you were able to kind of bring the change and actually impact the society? So we'd like to hear from you on this.
It's a very good question. I'm really happy that you have asked this question. See, I really fail to understand. We are living in 2021, and
Absolutely.
still we are ashamed, or maybe we get shy away when we talk about periods. Oh my God,
Yes.
sorry. Was it loud? I was talking about periods, so I should be periods. Nah? Because people don't talk about it.
I
It is
know.
such a, it is such a, it is such a sad thing. We do
Yes.
not talk about periods,
Yes.
and it
Absolutely.
is such a natural phenomena.
Yeah.
I fail to understand, why don't people talk about it? People are facing so much problem. You won't believe, even today, there are different data available, there are different researches available. Even today, 65% to 82%, there are various data.
Mhm.
65% to 82% females are not using sanitary pads even today in India.
It's
Even today,
it's
23-24 million girls leave schools every year, even today, when they reach the
unimaginable.
age of puberty. When
Yeah.
they reach the age of puberty, 40,000 women every year, they die because of cervical cancer. And one of the main reasons is, inappropriate menstrual products while their periods. Even today, when a girl reaches the age of puberty, 70% of the girls are not aware about what period is, what they are going through. When they have their first bleeding, they are not even aware. So they think, oh my God, they have got some disease, some fatal disease, they will die soon. So I think it is such a sad thing. So one of my female friends, she shared that, Neeraj, you speak on various kind of causes. As I go to different schools,
Of course.
colleges, I speak about various causes. So she said, why don't you take up this project? मैंने कहा, okay, this project, मैंने कहा, usually female talk about this project.
Yes,
She said,
absolutely.
Acha, at least go through it, at least
Right.
go through this. So I did a research. So I was really shocked with the datas, the figures which I have already shared. So I was really shaken, I was really moved. So I said, I would certainly work on this series. I would certainly raise voice for those females who are still living in menstrual huts. People in India, I thought people in Nepal, there are menstrual huts. So I thought people in Nepal are living in menstrual huts and some other parts of India. But when I started working on this project, I realized people in India, or also girls in India, are also living in menstrual huts, cow sheds, when they have their periods.
And it's unimaginable, right? It's unimaginable.
Unimaginable. And they live in that condition. So I thought, doesn't matter, I'm a male or female, doesn't matter, I'm a male, still I will raise voice for, because I'm not raising voice as a male, I'm raising voice for those females as a human being. They are
Absolutely.
also human being, we are also human being.
Absolutely.
And initially, I would say response was little low, because there were very few people who wanted to come in front of camera with a pad,
Yes,
with a
absolutely.
message about periods. But then what I did, I clicked my own photograph. I clicked my
Oh,
own photograph with a pad,
interesting. Interesting.
and I sent that photograph to all those girls who were not ready to come in front of camera. with a pad or a message about periods, because they didn't want to get associated with such a taboo topic, such a, hidden topic. People do not discuss about it. So when I showed them these photographs, eventually, gradually, people started coming with me. They started appreciating my effort. They started supporting me. And then many girls came in front of camera, and I did this series with 30, 32 photographs. And as you have already shared, it got published in various newspapers. I don't even have count for those newspapers. That series is called Sacred Stains. दाग पवित्र है, दाग अच्छे हैं,
दाग पवित्र है. अमेजिंग है. मतलब ये थॉट इटसेल्फ, मतलब आप सोचिए कि इट शिफ्ट समथिंग इन यू. इट्स जस्ट लाइक लुकिंग हाफ ग्लास, or what do you say, half glass empty or half glass full. It's like that. You just looking at stains as sacred, like it's divine. It's something which is ensuring that you're able to give a child, you give birth to a child, and how can it be considered not sacred? I think it's amazing the way you have narrated this, and the way you have come to the forefront to take this forward. I think we need more such change makers in the society, so that whatever numbers you have shared just now, they kind of see phenomenal drop, and India as a country moves forward, not only in terms of other things that we are seeing happening in terms of tech, in terms of e-commerce, but this also is something very human, very fundamental, that needs to have a big shift. I think I'm so happy that we have somebody like you.
Thank you so much. And I'm really happy. It's very right. You have rightly said, something which is very base of this creation, this universe, this planet. If there are no periods, there is no life.
Absolutely.
When it is a proper celebration, it's called half sari ceremony.
Right.
So they celebrated the very same way they celebrate, kind of their marriages.
Yes,
way there is a similar kind of function is there. So they celebrate. Why to shy away from this very natural fact, very natural phenomena? Why to take it as stigma? Why to make it a very taboo topic? Let's discuss it. We are in 2021. Let's become more vocal. Let's become very natural about this topic.
Absolutely. Interesting. So you also have, adopted a village. What motivated you to adopt a village? What was that, key thing that shifted, something in you, and then you felt like adopting a village?
It's a very good question. That village has a very soft corner for me. I'm really close to people living there. They are kind of my family, just like my family members. So I went there. I went to that village. That village belongs to one of the volunteers. It's one of the volunteers' village. So he said, "Bhaiya, chalo, let's go to my village. We'll stay there." So I said, "Okay, I'll be very happy to do it, because I like to work on grassroots level. I like to go live in such areas." So I went there. So there he showed me a school. He showed me, "Bhaiya, this is the school of our village." But no one was there in that school. No student, no teacher, no one was there. No administration staff. So I asked, "Why is this school closed? Why no one is there?" So he said, "भैया यहाँ पे ना बच्चे पढ़ने नहीं आते." मैंने कहा, "बच्चे पढ़ने क्यों नहीं आते?" कह रहे, "बच्चे यहाँ से ना विस्थापित होते जा रहे हैं."
अच्छा.
मैंने कहा, "क्यों विस्थापित क्यों होते जा रहे हैं?" कह रहे, "यहाँ पे ना पढ़ाई का इतना लेवल नहीं है, तो इसलिए बच्चे और उनके माँ बाप अच्छे दूसरे बड़े बड़े एरियाज में जा रहे हैं। कोई दिल्ली में जा रहा है, कोई देहरादून जा रहा है, कोई कहाँ जा रहा है। तो धीरे धीरे यहाँ से, और धीरे धीरे विलेजेस में जितने लोग थे वहां से 50% रह गए थे धीरे धीरे, क्योंकि वहां पे जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं है, वहां पे स्कूल्स नहीं है, वहां पे कॉलेज हायर एजुकेशन इतनी अच्छी नहीं है। तो धीरे धीरे लोग छोड़ के जा रहे हैं। तो मुझे लगा अगर ऐसे ही होता रहा तो एक दिन तो सारे के सारे गांव शहर में बन जाएंगे, शहर में बस जाएंगे। तो गांव में कौन रहेगा? वो ऑथेंटिसिटी कहाँ रहेगी, वो जो गांव की थी। सो देन आई रियलाइज्ड कुछ तो करना चाहिए। So फिर मैंने request किया. There was a सरपंच of that village. She was a female. So I requested her. मैंने कहा I want to adopt this village, which she happily agreed, and I adopted that village. So now we are having online classes, online and offline classes.
Lovely.
We have skill development center. We have various kinds of if they want to learn English, we are teaching them English. We're teaching them personality development. We have personality development classes. We're teaching them mathematics. We're teaching them for competitive exams. So we're doing whatever they require. I've told them, baby, whatever you want to learn, just let me know. They are learning music. They are learning arts. So I'm really, really happy. I'm happy to see them becoming more confident. Those people are becoming more vocal about their needs, their emotions. They are becoming more vocal. They are becoming more confident. So I'm really happy to see that because they are just like my younger brother and sisters. So as if I'm really getting elated, as if they are my family members, and they are my family members only. So I'm enjoying it. I would say more than I have adopted that village, they have adopted me as their family member. So I'm really, really grateful that I'm able to become a small instrument of transformation for that village.
Yeah, wonderful, amazing. Neeraj, I want to understand. Initially in the initial part of the conversation, we kind of you kind of touched upon. There was a big question whether social cause photography can be sustainable. Like, is it a sustainable model, sustainable business model? So, would you throw some light on this? If we have some budding entrepreneurs who would like to, who get inspired by your journey and would like to take up this as their career option. So, what tips that you would like to give them, and how do you think they should take this up so that it is a scalable model or it is a sustainable model? We'd like to understand something on those lines from you.
First of all, I would like to change the word business sustainable model. So I would say if you're really doing social work, if you're really doing social photography, please remove this word from our minds, at least from our minds, business.
Okay.
Because then we will play the same games which would have been playing in other kind of businesses. It won't be social cause. It won't be something which you want to express, something which is close to our hearts.
Right.
So yes, but definitely I totally agree that we need money to sustain anything. We need money to take care of our needs.
Yes.
So I think you can search. There's a photographer called Utiniki.
Okay.
So he was the photographer from Venezuela. So he was raising voice against American, because America was having some war thing, indirect war was there. Yes. So he clicked a photograph which got viral. So then there is another photographer called Steve McCurry. He also raises social causes, or he also does portrait photography. So they are also earning really good. If you're really good, doing really good work, then there are magazines who pay for your work, who pay for your entire trip, your entire project. Then there are different kind of companies who are paying for it. There are different kind of NGOs who are paying for it. So it is definitely a sustainable model, but I think initially you need to make an effort. Initially you need to have some source of income to to do some remarkable job, so that you get the attention of those corporates, those NGOs, those big shot companies, media companies. So initially you need, gradually I will say, then you can have your own classes, your own photography classes of social documentary photography. It is definitely a sustainable model. You will be able to do it, but highest goal should be expressing the inner, the sensitive person inside you, and the emotions you want to express for those underprivileged, for those poor people, for those unheard emotions, I would say. So main priority should be that only.
Yeah, incredible. I think what you said is phenomenal, that business will be the side benefit of whatever you're doing. The core has to be around the cause for which you took up this career option. So that should always remain at the center, and other things are outlier. They kind of will obviously be
वो
there.
थ्री इडियट्स में वो है ना कि आप क्या कहते हैं, एक्सीलेंस के पीछे भागोगे तो सफलता पीछे अपने आप भागेगी. You
Absolutely.
work on your excellence. Whatever you do, trust me, whatever you do, if you can excel in that, again, a positive thing. ऐसा नहीं कि whatever in negative में, but whatever you do, if you are able to excel in that, then you will find people who are sponsoring it, people who are standing with you, people who are supporting you, people who are buying your work, people who are kind of giving you job and all those things. But
Right.
excel करना सबसे must है. So जो भी करो, whatever, if you're a good painter, paint it very nicely, express yourself very nicely. If you're a good photographer, express it very nicely, make amazing phenomenal photographs. आप अटेंशन मिलेगी ही मिलेगी, आज नहीं कल, कल नहीं परसों. हमें कई बार ना मीडिया के पीछे भागते हैं कि हमारी फोटो सीरीज प्रिंट कर दो, ये कर दो, वो कर दो. अरे आप फोटो सीरीज ही ऐसी बनाओ, आप फोटो सीरीज ऐसी बनाओ कि मीडिया आपके पीछे आए कि ओके प्लीज वी वांट टू कवर दिस सीरीज. नाउ
Right.
डेज ट्रस्ट मी, आई हैव अ टीम who checks कि अच्छा ठीक है, जो मेरी illegally किसी ने अगर फोटोग्राफ अपलोड करी है, so they check all those illegal photographs who haven't taken my permission.
Right.
So we file a suit against them, and then we get money against them as again for that as well.
Right.
So there are various sources of income जिसके थ्रू हम कर सकते हैं. My main goal is not money, but usually if you want to earn money, then there are 1,000 ways to earn money from social documentary photography.
What have you planned in the future in terms of taking this forward? Like whatever is your larger goal. So how far you have moved in that direction, and what do you intend to do? What kind of campaigns you would like to do in the future?
Larger goal is, of course, social transformation. I really transform the world to make it a better world, to make it a more livable, a happier world. So this is my goal, and whatever comes in my way, we are doing I do different kind of I go to old age homes. There we talk about how the positive aspect of life, despite all the so-called negatives which they are going through or they have faced. We spend a great time with those people. So I plan to open an old age home. I'm kind of searching for appropriate opportunities for that. Then I go to different villages, I go to different schools, I go to different colleges, I go to different platforms and talk about periods. And when the way you have said, usually boys were told to leave the class when we are talking about periods, they were talking about periods. So in my class, in my assembly, wherever we get together, I always ensure that males are also sitting there. Mm-hmm. Because 50% of the population is of males. And right. If males are not involved, then we may not be able to transform the society so rapidly. Because it's a patriarchal society, we must not forget. It's a patriarchal society. Even if we have convinced females that, okay, sanitary pad is good for you, please use sanitary pad, then also they have to be dependent on most of the females, especially in rural areas. They are dependent on their male counterparts for buying those sanitary pads. Absolutely. So we have to convince those females. We also have to convince those males. So we go to different villages, slum areas, rural areas. We talk to them about the taboos. We talk to them about the stigmas. We talk to them about various things and make them more sensitive person. We tell them, the way, if you're really, really sensitive about your wife, if you really love your wife, then understand her needs as well. It is also a way to, conquer their heart with love, with sensitivity. Absolutely. So that's how we do. That's what we are planning to do. We want to increase the area of kind of our work, and eventually we will definitely make a mark. We'll definitely do something really, really nice for the society with support of each and every person who are with us. And I'm really, really grateful that I am able to do it.
It's amazing to hear that you've taken up this as one of those key change making projects in the country. I think we are so privileged to have you today on Confab and discuss such incredible journey that you have had. and discuss about topics which are still taboo, discuss about how acid survivors were not treated well or their voice was not raised. I think it was a very interesting and very inspiring conversation. Thank you so much. We would love to have you again on this show, and we'd like to, volunteer for your projects. You could let us know. We would be happy to kind of extend our support. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was really a pleasure talking to you, and your questions were amazing, very nicely drafted. And I really urge everyone, I really request everyone to live a very meaningful life. I believe, you were in human body, we are human beings, so there must be some purpose to it. If we are living, if we are, we have taken birth, we are eating, we are sleeping, we are doing mundane work, then I don't think we are working on the goals which I think should be there. So I think we should live a little more meaningful life. Of course, दुनिया I always call it दुनिया खेलनी है, खेलो, वो सब कुछ खेलो, पर साथ में कुछ तो मीनिंगफुल करो. आप दुनिया में आए हो, सिर्फ अपने लिए अपने जीना तो शायद जानवर भी कर लेते हैं.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
तो लिव अ लाइफ जो थोड़ा सा आई हैव अ वेरी, मुझे लगता है मेरी लाइफ का एक ना एंथम है वो सॉन्ग. सो कैन आई सिंग अ सॉन्ग?
Yeah, definitely.
I have a very bad voice. First of all, I must tell you, I have a very
That's
bad
fine.
voice.
So
पर
is
मेरी
mine.
लाइफ का ना, मुझे लगता है मेरी लाइफ का वो एंथम है. सो मुझे लगता है वो जितने लोगों का एंथम बन जाएगा, ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन सोसाइटी में उतनी ज्यादा आसान हो जाएगी. ठीक है, whoever वो जो भी हमें ज्वाइन करना चाहता है हमें ज्वाइन करे, किसी और एनजीओ को ज्वाइन करना चाहता है किसी और एनजीओ को ज्वाइन करे, कुछ भी करना चाहता है अपने से कुछ करना चाहता है जरूर करे, बट कुछ ना कुछ कंस्ट्रक्टिव, कुछ ना कुछ मीनिंगफुल लाइफ में जरूर करे. तो मुझे एक बड़ा छोटा सा सॉन्ग याद आता है जो मैं हमेशा अपने टॉक्स में लास्ट में शेयर करता हूँ. इट गोज लाइक दिस. किसी की मुस्कुराहटों पे हो निसार, किसी का दर्द मिल सके तो ले उधार, किसी के वास्ते हो तेरे दिल में प्यार, जीना इसी का नाम है, जीना इसी का नाम है. फिर इसके आगे आता है, रिश्ता दिल से दिल के एतबार का, जिंदा है हमी से नाम प्यार का, रिश्ता दिल से दिल के एतबार का, जिंदा है हमी से नाम प्यार का, कि मर के भी किसी को याद आएंगे, किसी के आंसुओं में मुस्कुराएंगे, किसी को हो ना हो हमें तो एतबार, जीना इसी का नाम है, जीना इसी का नाम है, जीना इसी का नाम है. So loads of love and blessings to all of you, loads of wishes to all of you. I'm really looking forward to see you all working for some meaningful causes, for some, causes where you can transform the society. And trust me, आप में से जो लोग सुन रहे हैं, आप सब में भी उतना ही स्किल है, आप सब में भी उतना ही जील है, आप सब में भी वही सीड है जो बुद्धा में था, जो गांधी में था, जो महावीर में था, जो अन्ना हजारे में था, या जो जिस भी सोशल वर्कर को आप आइडियलाइज करते हैं. बस उस सीड को थोड़ा सा नर्चर करिए, उस सीड को बिना नर्चर किए ना वापस मत भेजिएगा. ठीक है जी?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Niraj.